What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Subnautica. In the last episode, we crash-landed here on planet 4546b, an entirely water-covered planet, or at least as far as we can see, where we have to swim to survive. Yeah, this is quite the predicament, isn't it? Well, it's actually not so bad, because all we need is a little bit of experience, a little bit of knowledge, and for the most part, this game ain't too scary, ain't too bad, at least, well, not yet. So this episode, we're going to start getting into the nitty-gritty of stuff. I'm going to see if I can make some upgrades here really quickly. I'm going to make myself some glass, because I grabbed a fair bit of quartz in the last episode. I'm also going to need to make some food here, too, soon. But let's make all this glass, and then we are going to use the glass, silver, and titanium. And I also need to de-equip. Well, hold on. I need to... I might have already ran out of storage space here. This might be a little bit of a problem. You know what? That's fine. We're going to make some batteries, and we are going to free up some space. So hold on a minute. Do that. There we go. Let's go make one more, and then we can start dumping some of this stuff in our storage. Since I got all of those extra acid mushrooms that I probably didn't need to get, but batteries are useful, so I guess it's not the end of the world. All right, let's make some more titanium out of this metal salvage, and then we will be able to de-equip this oxygen tank, and yeah, all right, there's that. Let's put some of that titanium away. Now, let's de-equip that, and let's upgrade it. Now we'll be able to have a lot more time underwater, which is going to be very, very nice. So, boom, look at that go all the way up. Holy cow, all the way up to 135 seconds. That is pretty amazing. But here's the thing about that. You're not going to be able to go deeper than 100 meters for very long unless you get this right here, which this is a rebreather. So what I'm going to do is I am already running into a storage issue, aren't I? Well, don't worry. We have other ways around this. So let's put that away. And actually, with the titanium I have, I'm going to make myself a couple of deployables, particularly these waterproof lockers. I think I can just make the one for now. That's okay. I can grab more titanium later. What we'll do with these is we'll take this waterproof locker and we'll just kind of drop it right next to our pod. And if we open it up without picking it up, we can dump all of this inside. Perfect. So that frees up a whole lot of space. A temporary solution, to be sure, but don't worry, we will be coming across more permanent solutions here very, very soon. So let me cook up a little bit of peeper. And then we're going to start working on a little bit more of an efficient water system because we are almost out of water already. So, now that we can swim a lot longer and dive deeper, so what we need to get is we need to get more silver ore. And yes, I can turn the light on for this. We need to get more silver ore, and we need to get some fiber mesh. I am going to cut into this. Get myself... Oh, gosh, I'm being attacked. That's a stalker. Yeah, you got to be careful of those guys. If you ever hear them roar, you know they're onto you. But we're going to have a look around. I'm going to see if I can get myself some more silver ore, and we can start making a wiring kit and get ourselves that rebreather, because we're going to want to start to venture out into later spots, further areas that are going to allow us to dive a little bit deeper. But we also need to get ourselves a repair tool. We grabbed that cave sulfur in the last episode when I demonstrated how the crash fish works. And we're going to be putting that to the test and using that to repair and fix up our life pod here pretty soon. Now, I just need to find myself a little bit of sandstone if I can. It's usually down here in the lower areas, although be careful of those right there. You don't want to touch those. Those can kill you really, really quickly. We're just going to kind of meander about a little bit. Is there any sandstone around here? You also have to be careful in cave systems because it's a very good way of getting stuck and dying. So, there's also some of this, though. There's some sandstone. Gold! Okay, not what I was looking for, but it will do. Some more oxygen. And I definitely need to keep that out. I need to get myself a flashlight because the flashlight has a way better spotlight than this does. It's way easier to see actually where you're going with that thing out. So, is there any more sandstone? I would like to be able to go back and just instantly make my little rebreather. but easier said than done. Okay, well, you know what? Let's check in here. And there's probably going to be more crash fish in here. In fact, there's one right there. That's its pod. So it's going to come out, and it's going to chase us, and we're going to run away. Let it explode, and circle back. Sometimes you can find sandstone in caves like these, but it's not a guarantee. I also don't like how close some of these are to my pod. That can be a little bit annoying. The last thing you ever want is to, like, jump out of your pod and then just instantly be ambushed by, like, a crash fish and you're not ready for it. It can kind of suck. Alright, well, I think we've had our fill down here. Really do need to get myself a flashlight, don't I? Well, let's dive back down again. And we're going after some sandstone. Alright, so I do need to explore the rest of that tube in full. And also, we are going to cut our way into some coral here soon. Because we're going to start getting ourselves some better water that fills us up a little bit more. Not super in need of food at the moment. And if I ever need it, I can always just go around, grab a couple fishies, call it a day. It's pretty simple. Let's head a little further over this way. I don't want to go quite that way yet. We'll talk about that area in a little bit. But for now, don't want salt. And I'm sure it is not like the easiest to see around, but you get an eye for things the more you play this and you start to notice things. I say as I've probably gone past tons of stuff and everyone's like, what the heck, you just missed it. But no, it's you kind of have to be constantly on the move in this game, otherwise you risk getting yourself in big trouble in a lot of situations. So this area right here that we're heading into is known as the grassy plateaus. Now, it's not a whole lot more dangerous than the safe shallows or the kelp forest. There is one type of enemy in it that can be kind of annoying, but they're not a whole lot worse than stalkers. However, this is probably one of the most interesting areas in terms of biodiversity because you can get some really nice fishies in this area that fill you up good. In fact, I'll see if I can find one. Well, I do have to worry about these guys. These are biters is what they're known as, and they hurt, but not really. Okay, let's talk about these guys real quick, actually, while we're in the area. This is a Reefback leviathan. It is the first leviathan class life form that you are likely going to see whenever you are playing Subnautica. Now, the good news is about these guys is they are completely harmless.
This biome supports extensive biodiversity and connects to a number of small cave networks.
Now, the only problem with these Reefbacks, well, I mean, there's a lot of good things. They usually have a lot of resources that you can find on their backs. You can break barnacles and stuff and get stuff out of it, like copper ore, like that. Go across and hit all those to get some stuff. If I can actually do... Is it going to let me do it? There it goes. Okay. Get yourself some nice copper ore. You can get some more coral shell plates and stuff like that, which is all nice. They basically support ecosystems on their back, which is cool. However, there is occasionally on top of their backs this little bugger known as a tiger plant, and those are not so friendly. They will shoot spikes at you, and it will hurt you, and it actually does quite a considerable amount of damage if you're not careful. In fact, there is a tiger plant right there. As you can see, it's shooting little thorns at me. If I can, strafe around it, I can eventually scan it and not die, please. Thank you. Ugh. Yeah, tiger plants are nasty, and they're pretty much the only aspect of Reefbacks that will ever hurt you. Otherwise, all these guys do is make big, loud noises and give you copper, and honestly, they're just kind of a good sign. Because every time you see a Reefback, all it confirms is that you are safe from any other big baddies in that area. For the most part. There are a couple of exceptions, but Reefbacks tend to be a welcome sight wherever you go. Okay, this guy right here. Let's talk about this one. This little fishy. This is Reginald. Yes, his name is Reginald. You might be thinking, what's so special about Reginald? Why is he different from any other fish? Well, Reginald is the single best source of food in this entire game. Each Reginald, when cooked, is going to give you plus 44 to your food meter. So if you can grab them, do it. Spadefish aren't too bad either, but that was not actually what I was trying to go for in that moment. Yeah, I like Reginald. He's cool. He's also useful for something else that we'll be getting into a little bit later, too. Okay, that there is a sand shark, and we're going to kind of steer clear of him for the moment while I look for sandstone. Sand sharks are aggressive. They're not super fast, but they do like to sit on the bottom of the grassy plateaus and just kind of wait in ambush and then just attack you. So, but they're not super fast, so they're pretty easy to get away from should you need to. So keep that in mind as well. I am not getting lucky in my search for sandstone at all. I just need like one more silver, and then we can go back to our pod and start crafting all the rest of the stuff that I was going to get. Like the rebreather and the flashlight, and well, there's a bunch of other stuff too. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go over to this one, avoiding the sand shark. Like I said, they're not much worse than stalkers. They're a little harder to get a read on, and they definitely are more aggressive than stalkers, but they don't really hurt. Okay, this guy here is a floater. We're not going to do anything with him, but I do know that floaters were for a very long time used to exploit the heck out of this game. This game is a little bit... how do I put this? It's kind of a technical mess. Let's talk about that for a second. So like I said, I'm playing this on PlayStation 4, or PlayStation 5, excuse me, which I think, one of the best ways to play this game. If you can play it on Xbox Series X, PS5, or PC, it's going to run great. It runs with almost no hiccups whatsoever. You get great FOV, great frame rate. There's not really a whole lot of pop-in. It's just, it runs beautifully. I mean, this game is gorgeous. Just look at it. I absolutely love it. That being said, this game was also released on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. And let's just say that those versions don't fare as well. Even the main versions, or the main versions, the next-gen, more optimized versions like PC and next-gen consoles have their issues at times. PC, for a very long time, especially right when this game came out of early access, had a lot of hiccups. And did not really run the best, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, this game was just, it wasn't very well optimized, I guess is the best way of putting it. And a lot of people had problems with that, and they would run into a lot of game-breaking glitches and the like. But nowadays, it's not so bad. Except, like I said, on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Now, the good news is about the Switch version, if you're curious, is that it is almost an entirely different build from the console and PC releases. So it is, in a way, optimized for that system in particular, but it still runs into a lot of crashes. I played about 6 hours of the Switch version, and I ran into 3 crashes, 2 of which happened one after the other very quickly as I got further into the game. So do keep that in mind. There's also a certain point I got into the game where the game just completely fell apart on me altogether, and I ended up falling through the map and dying.
Local radiation
Wait, what?
readings suggest the Aurora's drive core has reached critical state. Quantum detonation will occur within 2 hours.
Oh, an explosion. Okay, well, that'll be fun. Great. Can't wait for that. But yeah, Switch version doesn't really run all that great, and the PS4 and Xbox One versions, they don't run super pretty, if I'm being honest, especially, again, as you get later on into the game. Okay, let's make some fiber mesh here. And also, with the silver that I have... Wait, I only have one? Oh, no, I don't. I have a one in the waterproof locker. I almost forgot about that. Give me that. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Let's make ourselves that wiring kit, and then I can make the rebreather so we can start diving down a little bit deeper more freely. Perfect. Okay, so let's go over our other tools. So we need a repair tool, which cave sulfur, titanium, silicone rubber. I think I have all of those things, actually. Let's take a look inside our storage. We got all of those right here. Okay, cool. Well, let's do that then and make ourselves the repair tool, and we can get to fixing this whole thing up. So I'm going to go into my menu, and I can actually assign this into the quick slots, thus taking out the fishies. And let's use this thing. Also, please don't shock yourself. So we're going to repair ourselves the radio first, and then we're going to repair the secondary systems. And that'll deal with the smoke finally. And lights! Oh, that's nice.
Running full environment diagnostic and outputting results to databank.
Cool. Okay, well, let's take a look at our radio here and play a message.
This is Aurora. Distress signal station will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
99,000 hours, that's not too bad. I mean, how many days is that? That can't be too freaking long. I'm actually genuinely pulling up a calculator to see how long. Oh, 4,166 days. That's not so bad. They'll be here in no time. We're going to die. We're going to die. We're going to die. No, we're going to be fine. We're going to figure this out. Don't you worry, because there's a whole lot to figure out in this game. It's honestly the best thing about Subnautica, at least to me, is its progression. The way that this game just kind of leads you along and lets you discover things for yourself is, I mean, it's brilliant. It's honestly brilliant. And I'm going to actually grab myself some glass so we can make ourselves this flashlight here. But you just learn stuff by playing the game. You just play and you discover stuff and you scan stuff. And in due time, oh, I already have a battery. In due time, you're eventually going to just figure it all out for yourself. Yeah, the game is daunting and scary at points, but for the most part, it leads you along pretty well. So now that that is done and we have our tools, and I can also equip the flashlight and the knife back because I don't need any fish in my quick assign slot. Let's have a look around and see if we can grab ourselves some stuff. So I'm going to swipe at this coral tube and get myself some coral samples, and that right there is going to get me a crap ton of water, which I am definitely going to need. So what we do is we go into our sustenance, or not sustenance, excuse me. Oh, that's right. No, we also need salt deposits, and I have a couple of those, I think. Maybe I just have the one. I don't want to edit the name. Ugh. Where are you? There you are. We got 3 of them. All right, that's good. So let's go make some bleach. And we are going to use this to get some more efficient water. So, where are you? There you are. Having a hard time cycling through the fabricator right now.
Essential chemical used for cleaning wounds and purifying water.
Mostly just purifying water. That's pretty much all you use it for in this game. So you get 2 bottles of disinfected water for each bleach, which is awesome.
Water ration ahead of time will help ensure against dehydration and eventual death.
And with that, you can see tons of water that fills us right up. Pretty awesome. And now our food and water situation is essentially entirely resolved. Sweet. Okay, well, it's time for us to start having a look around now. And actually, before I do that, hold on, I just realized, batteries. I need more batteries. We definitely need more batteries. So I got some copper here. What is that? 6? Let's see if we can make, I'm going to make 4 batteries here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on. Give me that 8. Thank you. Jeez. Oh, grabbing a mushroom was so difficult. So let's head on in here and make ourselves a bunch with what power we have left. Might as well. And then we can move along. Now, we also have that mobile vehicle bay that we're going to want to construct at some point, because that is also going to be useful for understanding and traversing the world a bit further. It'll all make sense in due time. We're going to need titanium ingot, lubricant, and a power cell, all of which we could probably make right now. But I am going to see if I can go grab ours a little bit more in the way of materials and also start doing some discoverance. So we're going to head on over to the grassy plateaus. I'm actually going to go south, and I want to apologize here in post because I got my east and my west backwards, which is such a rookie mistake. I'm so sorry. Don't worry. I fix it in a couple of episodes. If you're wondering what I mean by south, the Aurora is the way to orient yourself. North, south, and that is west, and this is east, okay? Does that make sense? It's pretty self-explanatory. The Aurora is always on the west side, assuming you're not on the west side of the Aurora. But if you're on the west side of the Aurora, well, you're an idiot, and you deserve what's coming to you. I promise. Don't ever go that way. All right, so we're going to head south, and this is going to spit us out into the grassy plateaus. Now, we do need to be careful, because if we do get too close to the Aurora, it is going to start to hurt us with its radiation. We need to be aware of that, but we are looking for some major wreckages in this area, and we need to collect some stuff as we do.
Show a nearby cave entrance. depth 90 meters, leading to an unknown environmental biome.
By the way, it's this biome down here. There's a cave entrance right there. Ah, sand shark, don't attack me. Down this way, if we head on down, I'm not going to go all the way down, but you can see we have ourselves a little cave system down this way. Now, we'll be exploring that more later. Doing it with your sea glide is very inadvisable. I would not recommend doing it because it is a very big biome. There is a lot to it, and it is very easy to get stuck down there and suffocate. Drown is the correct term. Also, is that a solar eclipse happening? Like right now? I believe that is exactly what's happening. Wow, that is honestly crazy that we just witnessed that. Okay, so here in this area, let's have a look around. See what we can find. And, wait, is that a life pod? Hold on, that is a life pod. And we have another fragment here? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Bioreactor fragment. Okay, I'm going to take that. We got here sea moth fragment. What the heck? What is this? What life pod is this? 17. What do we have in here? Abandoned PDA. Let's have a look at this.
Integrating new PDA data.
Ozzy's log. It's the day of the crash. I don't know what the heck is happening. I'm scared and I'm not going outside. There are shadows in the water under the hatch, but I can't tell if they're rocks or aliens. And there's weird-looking caves nearby. The Aurora was carrying everything needed to build the phase gate. Mobile vehicle bays, bioreactors, propulsion cannons. It had a cinema. There was a zero-G gym. My cafe. I don't understand how we're here now. I don't know why no one's coming for me.
Congratulations, survivor. You have exceeded your weekly exercise quotient by 500%. Data indicates that swimming was your favorite activity. Be sure to vary your routine for uniform muscle development.
It's like my favorite joke in the game right there. Swimming was your favorite activity. Yeah, no duh. Anyway, doesn't sound like that Aussie guy had himself too good of a time because his life pod is destroyed. He was terrified and, well, there's no trace of him. Yeah, he didn't do too well. Unfortunately, we're just not going to find him. But that was his life pod, so we do know that he at least made it off the Aurora. But guess the rest didn't go super well for him. Okay, so we have a wreckage here. We're going to have a look around and see what we can find in all of this. We're going to have to put our flashlight to work now that it's going to start to get dark again. This is why we made it. Let's see. Nothing in these containers, which is surprising. What do we got over here? That's just a bunch of metal salvage, which is always useful. Don't get me wrong. We also got sandstone. I would like that. Silver ore, thank you. Silver ore is very nice. We got a scanner room fragment. Okay. Let's scan the scanner room fragment. So we got part of the blueprints. We just need 2 more. Another bioreactor fragment. Okay. Probably wondering what the heck all of this is for. How do we use these things? Well, in due time, my friends. What? Oh, gosh.
Emergency. A quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. The reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Awesome. And for witnessing an explosion like that, we get a blueprint for a radiation suit.
Blueprint acquired.
Now, this radiation suit is going to be very, very important because
Radiation suit has been added to your blueprint database.
one, we're going to need to be able to deal with the radiation that the Aurora puts off. And yes, the zone of radiation that is around the Aurora is going to expand over time as it is outputting that radiation. However, that is not the only reason we want a radiation suit, because guess what? The Aurora is a place we're going to want to go in the future. And we're going to need a radiation suit to even get anywhere near it. So that is going to be one of the things we're going to craft next. Now, I'm just having a look around here really quickly, looking for more of these fragments before we go on any further. There's sea moth fragment. Definitely want to get those. But it's looking like otherwise we just kind of have metal salvage and not a whole lot else. which is fine, but I think we're going to have to move on to another area. Excuse me, little biter. Yes, I know there's still some fishies I have left to scan and the like, but I'm just going to kind of keep doing my due diligence and searching. Okay, so let's see that icon that just popped up right there. That means that we have received a new radio transmission. So when we head back to our life pod, we'll be able to pick up on that and see what the heck that's about. Oh, what do we have here? A vending machine? Heck yeah! Please and thank you. Yeah, more wreckage stuff over here. Not really seeing the blueprints I want. That is not anything. I would like more sea moth fragments, but I'm not getting them. And yes, I know. Don't you worry. We'll worry about that in a second. Can always zoom to the surface as soon as we get low. Okay, now's probably the time. Still might have been a little bit early, but never a chance worth taking. Okay, so why don't we actually take a look at that blueprint really quickly that we just got for the radiation suit. So we need fiber mesh and lead. Well, fiber mesh is really easy to get, and we already have the lead necessary, so that won't be too hard. The only problem with the radiation suit is that it's a full thing. You need the gloves, the bodysuit itself, and you need the helmet. And the helmet means, or I guess the mask, means that you have to replace your rebreather for it, which is unfortunate and means that you can't really take your radiation suit down into lower areas. But it's a small price to pay for being able to actually go to the Aurora, which we will do in due time. Don't you worry. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, a laser cutter fragment. Okay, well, let's scan that, because I'm definitely going to want that. See, here's the thing. I don't want to go to the Aurora unless I have all of the tools necessary to do so. And so far, we are kind of lacking in that department. It's not that we can't do everything there, or can't get everything that we want to get there without the tools that we have, but I don't want to make a second trip. Let's just say that. I don't want to have to make a second trip unless absolutely necessary. And I would like to just be able to go there, do what we need to do, and then leave, and then move on from that. We have most of the tools, but we need this laser cutter, as well as a couple of other things. And I'm just kind of doing one last scan to see if I missed any more fragments, because otherwise I'm going to have to move on to a completely different area from this. Just keep avoiding the sand. Oh, there we go. Yep, there are more stuff over here. Okay, glad I checked. Another scanner room fragment. There's something in this crate, too. So let's check that. Nope, nothing. Really nothing else over here. Doesn't look like it. Alright, well, oh, that is, I think, another bioreactor fragment. And also, I think I saw a sea moth fragment next to it, but I'm going to resurface before I go after that. As you can see, we do kind of go through our batteries pretty quickly. If you aren't paying attention, down there just above my quick assign slots, you can see the power. It says 17%. That means we're going to need to replace our battery here pretty darn soon. But don't worry, there is going to be a way of mitigating a lot of the problems that we're running into here pretty soon, because something I want to do before we head to the Aurora is build myself a base. And we need to get ourselves a habitat builder to do that. And we need to figure out how to build the habitat builder and then what to do from there, because there's a whole lot of stuff to be done. Now let's head back to the Aurora now that we've got everything. Or the Aurora, excuse me. To the life pod, excuse me. Now that we've got everything that I need. And I'm actually going to have myself a little drink really quickly. I probably should have grabbed more salt while I was in the area too. Let's actually do that real quick. I'm going to scan for some salt in this area, as well as some quartz, just because I'm going to need that for water and stuff. I do like that this game is not like super demanding in the food and water department. Like, yeah, every so often you got to take a swig or you got to go back and do a little bit of cooking, but as long as you're constantly prepared, you're not really going to run into a whole lot of issues. I don't think I've ever once gotten like close to death because of my food or my water. It was really only ever because of my health or because of my oxygen. And even health is pretty easy to manage. Oxygen is definitely going to be your biggest struggle most of the time in this game. I cannot believe those flares are still going. All right, well, we're going to check our radio broadcast here in a second. Let me make some more bleach. I can see that we also unlocked the ability to make a playsteel ingot. Okay, we need something called lithium to go with it. Don't know how we're going to do that. Let's get some more disinfected water here. Kind of stock up, and also I'm going to cook myself a spadefish. And chomp on that really quickly. Cool. Okay, let's take a look at this radio broadcast.
This is Ozzy from the cafeteria. What the hell, guys? They didn't warn us this might happen. Our pod was almost crushed by this Seamoth Bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to eat through the hull. Come get us already.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
So, this is the life pod that we already found, life pod 17. It says 100 meters is how far down it is, and then 368 meters away. Now, they do give you a ping for this, but you can always turn these off at any time should you need them. You can also change their colors and the like if you have a hard time spotting them. I prefer yellow because I feel like it contrasts the best against any of the blue backgrounds and the like in this game. So it just makes things a lot easier to see. But we've already been to this life pod and grabbed the PDA there, so we don't really need that. Unfortunately, our friend Ozzy didn't make it, which was very, very sad. Very, very sad. But, all right, so radiation suit. We need to get that, and we already have our rebreather. So, and then there's the tools. So we're working on that laser cutter still. Habitat builder. We need a computer chip, wiring kit, and a battery. Now, what I need to do that is I need a little bit more silver ore. I have the battery already, which is good. But how do I make a computer chip? Well, I need copper wire and gold, which we have, and then I need a table coral sample, or 2 table coral samples, actually. Now, table coral is pretty easy to find. In fact, it's right here. See this red coral jutting out here? This is table coral. All you do is give it a whack with your knife, and boom, there you go, table coral samples. So just like acid mushrooms, if you ever need them, all you need to do is jump right outside your life pod, and you can grab those, and you are good to go. All right, so here's the deal. And we can also make an advanced wiring kit, so that's cool, but we need a regular wiring kit, so I need to get myself some more silver. Here's the deal. I am going to go back and look for some more silver in some of these deeper areas, try to find some more sandstone, and hopefully we can have our habitat builder in the next episode, and then we can start working on a little bit of base building, because base building is going to be incredibly crucial for storage purposes. Our life pod just doesn't really cut it, and I don't want to make myself a bunch of waterproof lockers that hang around. Honestly, I find them to be a little bit cumbersome and annoying to deal with. So we're going to work on making that base real quickly. And actually, is that a... No, I thought that was a beacon, because we still need that last beacon fragment. But yeah, we're gonna work on a base, and we're gonna make it nice and pretty and fill it up with lockers and stuff like that, and hopefully get ourselves that done, as well as a radiation suit, because we definitely have the materials for that. We just need to make some fiber mesh. So thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Subnautica. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.